There she is, the beautiful Noel Neill. Welcome, Noel. She's already cutting up with the crowd. That's what she likes to do. She brings smiles to everyone that see her. Come on, Noel. We're glad to have you here. We're just so proud to be here today and have Noel with us. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to this historic event. Noel has been a most gracious guest of the Superman celebration for many, many years. But what some of you may not know is not only is she a guest of the celebration, she is an ambassador, a wonderful ambassador for the city of Metropolis year-round all over the country. She's our First Lady of Metropolis. We have called her the First Lady of Metropolis for a while. And since she is the First Lady of Metropolis, of course she should have a statue, just like our favorite son, Superman. So, of course, we had to honor her in the same way. So this has been a project that has been many, many years in the making. We are very excited that it's finally coming to this step today.
Precious Lord, we gathered to dedicate this statue. It's a statue of Lois Lane as an ongoing reminder of the positive character qualities of the Superman saga. But Lord, we know it is not just Lois Lane. We're not here to simply memorialize a delightful fictional character. Lord, we're here to thank and to honor a very real, generous, and gifted woman, the woman who betrayed her. Lord, we thank you for Noel Neill. Thank you for the gifts and graces you have given to her, and for her willingness to share them with others. Thank you for the record of her talents in film and photo and television. Thank you for your guidance and your provision in her life all along the way. Thank you especially for the blessing and the support and the encouragement she has given to us here in her second home, Metropolis, Illinois. We are so proud, Lord, to call her our First Lady. Most of all, we give you thanks and praise for her presence here with us today. Please, Lord, allow her to feel the warmth of our love and the depth of our gratefulness, and strengthen her for years to come. We also give you thanks for all those who have been remembered, whose names have been inscribed on the bricks around this statue. Through them and the efforts of many others, Lord, we have been given this memorial. Lord, may all who come to Metropolis to visit Superman also remember to visit the apple of his eye, Lois Lane. And when those of us who live here and those who visit see her statue, remind us all to give you thanks for Noel Neill, the actress who first portrayed the character, and the woman who has given so much of herself to us. For it is in your great name we pray. And everybody said amen.
Amen. I'd like to personally thank all my elected officials, my aldermen, our treasurer, our clerk, and things like that actually are elected officials here in the city of Metropolis, because without the cooperation and what goes on in our city government, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it probably is doubtful that things like this could happen. And I can't tell you how proud that I am of the city of Metropolis, but I'm proud of all the honorary citizens that we've sworn in for the last year or so, and going to do more this year. It makes my election power a little bit better, because that way they can actually absentee vote at least. But there's too many people here that I'm always afraid that I will offend someone, but I would not be doing my job as an elected official in the city of Metropolis if I didn't thank sincerely each and every volunteer that takes so many hours out of their hard days They were actually up here last night, probably till 12:30, 1 o'clock, making sure that everything's in place here. That's things that behind the scene that nobody knows about. They don't publicize it. They don't ask for any recognition. They're doing it because they love Metropolis also. But in saying that, there's just so many people that work so hard. We have a legend in the statue on the Superman Square, and we're very proud. This is a unique statue because it's of a living legend. A dedicated lady that has dedicated so much of her life for entertainment to the public and things of that nature, and has been, like Angie said, she's been an ambassador for the city of Metropolis. Every place she goes, everything she does, they know that she's the first lady of the city of Metropolis, and that's something that we're all proud of. So in saying that, I want to thank each and every one of y'all that have come out. Brother Motto, he played for this sunshine. I had the rain come just for a little while because we needed to wash the streets off a little bit. But his prayer was a little higher than mine because it stopped raining now. So I do want to thank Noel for everything that she does for our city. And this is going to be something that's going to last for generations to come. And it's something that everyone that's participating in this is going to be very, very proud. When we actually unveil this, you're going to be very impressed. And I can honestly say I haven't seen it because I didn't want to see it. I want to be just impressed as you are. So thank you all for coming. Thank the news media and the writers and things like that. Each and every segment is a little bit more publicity for the city of Metropolis, and I do thank each and every one of you. Thank you.
I had the privilege and honor 5 years ago to attend a 85th birthday celebration of Miss Noel, and it was a wonderful event, a wonderful party. She was surrounded by people who love her, colleagues, friends, family, a little bit of everybody, and we all just really were just very pleased to be there. I attended the party along with a couple of the Metropolis folks. My sister Lisa was in attendance, and then Catherine Busby. I want to mention her because she actually was on the original Noel statue. And it was at that celebration that we stood up in front of the invited guests, and Catherine read the announcement that we were going to be doing this statue. And we were very honored. We did not realize it was going to take 5 years to get this statue up, but by George, we did it. Around the room were all kinds of photographs, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was that Jim Bowers that did the enlargements of Noel's career, and it really truly is amazing in career. I don't know if you've ever really get one of Larry's books, because he really does a fantastic job of telling about her career. She's been in a vast amount of movies. We all know that Lois Lane is the one that we all remember, but the Westerns, and you were a pinup girl too. GIs loved her during, was it World War II? So yeah, she's done a little bit of everything. But we just absolutely love having Noel here. All of the fans, every year they come in, year after year. I'm amazed at some of the folks that they'll say, this is my 14th year, or this is my 10th year, or my 3rd year, and I'm coming back next year. We just really have a very dedicated following of fans that come back, and they always say, now, Noel is going to be here, right? I've met her, but I just love seeing her again and again. And we all do, Noel. We love seeing you, we love you, and we're just very honored that we could do this for you.
For 27 years, Metropolis has given out an award to an outstanding lady in our community who has dedicated service hours that are probably uncountable, and has given of herself freely to the community in so many various, every single one of these ladies has done it in a different way. And this has been, for 27 years, a new person has received the Lois Lane Award every year. And I don't know if, Noel, if you became Lois Lane or if Lois Lane became Noel, because the qualities that you have that I have experienced with you are the same qualities that your character has had. And that is that community-minded spirit, that curiosity, that little touch of spunkiness that we've all experienced. And all of those qualities are things that it takes to be a community service person. And I would like to read the names of those 27 ladies that have received this honor. This year was Carrie Neely. And if you are here, please stand up so that you can be acknowledged. Carolyn Jones, Sue Barfield, Lisa Gower, Julie Russell, Tina Wilmus, Sandy Daly, Carla Ogle, Frida Cook, Chris Duncan, Maxine Russell, Judy Lester, Janae Erpenbach, Angie Shelton, Rebecca Lambert, Doris Vogt, Vicki Mayhall, Kitty Oldham, Tony Miller, Carolyn Kendall, Diane Icorn-Garrow, Jenny Walters, who was actually on the committee that got the Superman statue, June Elliott, Judy Compton, Mildred Farley, Debbie Simmons, Sharon Burris, and Phyllis Harris. And Noel, I want to thank you for being a part of Metropolis and for being a part of the history now of Metropolis. And I want to thank you for setting such an example through the character that you played and through your personal life of being the kind of person that every woman should strive to be.
When we were first approached and asked if we would be willing to share a portion of our property for this project, we enthusiastically said yes. As a locally owned and operated bank, we always invite opportunities to invest in our local communities, and we couldn't think of a better way to partner with the city of Metropolis to invest in this community. And so we're happy to be here today and to celebrate with you for the unveiling of this great statue and the celebration of a wonderful person. And we're excited to have this to be a part of our property in your city and the legacy of Metropolis. Thank you.
All right, now we have two gentlemen that have traveled from Utah. And the last time they traveled from Utah, they brought a terrible storm with them. I don't know how many people remember when we unveiled the Superman statue. We had a horrendous storm, and they've been telling me, we'll bring the statue, you just take care of the weather. We're not used to that kind of weather. But luckily, the clouds parted for the Superman statue, and they have done so again for the Noel Neill statue. So I would like to first bring to the stage Gary Ernest Smith. He is the sculptor who has worked for many, many, many hours on this project, and I'd like to hear what he has to say about it.
Thank you. Who would have thought that a boy growing up in the 50s would have an opportunity to not only sculpt Superman, but Lois Lane and Noel Neill? Who would have thought that? I grew up on a farm, a cattle ranch in Oregon, and my only source of inspiration for art at all was the comics. And I was greatly influenced at a very early age by the comics. In fact, in the early 50s, was hired to try to resurrect an old comic strip called Red Ryder and Little Beaver. And maybe some of you remember that. I did that for a period of time and moved on to becoming a professional artist in the sense that a painter and sculptor. And I've been doing that for longer than I want to remember. But what a privilege it was for me to take the background that I had as a youth, that I had kind of been inspired to create images and so forth, and be inspired by the comics, and see that come to fruition in Superman. And as you know, in looking at Superman, it was quite a job putting that all together. It was actually cast in 75 different pieces, bronze welded all back together, moved to Metropolis on a flatbed truck and placed in the middle of the night with a tornado moving in upon us. And as I remember the morning when we had the dedication of that, it was draped with a what was it draped with? Parachute. And I think it was the only thing that was kind of left standing, you know, over here in the square. There were windows blown out and so forth, and big generators around for the power. But we got that up, and it was a real tribute to be able to do that. And then when I was chosen to do the Noel Neill Lois Lane statue, I thought, boy, this is just really the height. And I had not met her, but I was given an awful lot of information, and having grown up as a boy in the 50s, I saw those old Superman television shows, and I thought, oh, maybe they're so wonderful, and the fact of being able to do a bronze statue and to represent Noel was just really kind of a dream come true. So just to give you a short idea of what it takes to create a statue like that, it took me about 2 weeks just gathering material. And I realized not only in doing a bronze statue, you don't just do a statue of someone, you try to capture the soul and character of the individual also. Having not met her, the closest thing I could come to was those old television shows. So I could actually see her in motion and study her character. And then was given the book, the biography, or the biography that was done on her, and it has such wonderful photographs in it. And it gave me a really good comprehensive idea of her life, what she looked like as a child, and what she's, you know, in her latter years, being able to study her character and so forth, and come to kind of the quintessential image of what I thought that she should represent. And on your little brochure here, this is an original sketch, an original drawing of the concept that was chosen, which is what the sculpture is like, as you'll see pretty soon. And I put all these things in the hopper, you know, in the head here, and let them gel for a while. Finally came up with these ideas. They were submitted then to the Superman Committee, Metropolis Lois Lane, Noel Neill Committee. And they were the final decision as to which one, and I was in complete agreement with them when it was chosen. So then I set about doing a small bronze statue, which was about 18 inches tall. From that bronze statue, then, it's called pointed up or enlarged to a life-size image. You never do an image outside of an individual if you're going to be a heroic image, which I consider her to be somewhat. You always do it a little larger than life size, because outdoors it looks dwarfed if it's the actual size of an individual. So you'll see her, you know, in her heroic size here. And in a position of Lois Lane, the reporter, a woman in charge, a woman knows what she wants, and I tried to capture that character, but most of all I tried to capture the spirit of Noel Neill. And I hope she's pleased with it today. She actually hasn't got to see it yet. Kevin, who owns the Bronze Foundry in which it was created, will tell you a little bit more about the actual production of it. But what a privilege it's been for me to not only be able to do Superman, but also Noel Neill. And I hope this is a wonderful contribution to time and eternity, which it probably will be standing here for a long time in commemorating Miss Neill. So I thank you very much.
You guys are very, very kind, and I appreciate this opportunity to come into your city, you know, as an outsider to do this. But I don't consider myself an outsider. I've driven this interstate about 6 times in the last, well, I think 17 years. I think it was about 17 years ago we did Superman. And I pull into your city every single time with whoever I'm traveling with, and we visit the city, and it's, I just love this place. I was telling Gary this morning, 4 or 5 times a year, no matter where I am in the world, the city of Metropolis is associated with Superman in some form of the news or another. And I just love being tied to it in that capacity. And then when we had the opportunity to do Noel, these negotiations started 17 years ago when we were talking with O.D. Troutman. And I'm sure he's here walking around amongst us right now. By the show of hands, who was here when we did Superman? Okay, there's a few of you out there. So this is very memorable here and today. As your mayor was talking about, he's responsible for washing the roads down. Well, I'm sure an hour ago, Noel was sitting in her hotel room and she says, we got to go out and do a story. And somebody says, but it's storming. You can't go out there. Noel, she ordered the storm gone, so that's just what she does in all of her stories. No, you go do it. In fact, I always thought that Superman would never have been Superman had he not been ordered by Noel to be so. So one other thing, and then I'll move on here. We talked about the Baptist following the Methodist. Well, how about a Mormon following both of them? In building this sculpture, and when we did the maquette, and I challenge each one of you to go to the Chamber of Commerce. Is that the maquette? She's about this tall in bronze in the chamber. Study the monument carefully, and then go look at the maquette and look for a major difference. There's a change from the maquette to the monument. And the artist will take the liberties. They'll do the maquette, and then when they do the large one, they'll do something slightly different. But this is it's a little more, well, you might call it subtle, but I call it major. But there is a difference, and I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell Angie, and then she can start telling whomever she wants to. But she's the only one that knows, and the artist. The sculpture was, like you say, it was enlarged in clay at the studio, and once the artist was satisfied with it, then we sent photographs to your hard-working committee, and I can attest that Clive Wills, he worked tirelessly on this project, and then partway through it, I got hooked in with Angie, and through the emails, the photographs sent back and forth, these people were highly committed, and I perceive this gift as a gift from these hardworking committee members. Obviously, Ms. Neill deserves what she gets, but these committee members are responsible for it being right here in this beautiful location. And so, let's give them a round of applause, or else we would not have had this at all. I know they hit several major hurdles that they had to overcome that I was aware of over the many years that this was discussed and talked about. So, as we're going to unveil her, there's a synergy that occurs, and I've been to many unveilings of monuments to individuals like this, and when Superman was unveiled, there was a synergy of celebration of something. But I can tell you right now, feeling the spirit that's here today, when Noel Neill is unveiled, there's going to be a synergy of emotion, and it all is going to come together at one time. And so let her rip, because it does happen every time on these things. So, and that's what I have to say today. Thank you.
It says here that I'm Noel Neill's manager, but I have to be honest with you. You can't manage Noel Neill. Noel Neill does exactly what she wants to do, when she wants to do it, and how she wants to do it. All I can do is just make mere suggestions and hope that she agrees with me, which she never does. The truth is, the truth is, I'm really nothing more than Noel's pack mule. And she knows it because she treats me like Jimmy Olsen. And that will not change. All that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mom, my dad, and to the adventures of Superman. Like Gary had mentioned prior, I grew up in the 50s and 60s watching television. We got maybe 2 or 3 channels, and every day at 4 o'clock there was the Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, Noel Neill, Bob Shane, Jack Larson, and John Hamilton. Those were the great days for us growing up. And for me to eventually find myself in a position where I could actually know Noel Neill and actually work with her was one of the greatest thrills of my life. I was very honored in 2003 when I got to write Noel's biography. And let's just say it wasn't something that she willingly participated in. If you did not ask her a direct question, she did not volunteer anything at all. Even with the 2006 update, which was a much thicker book, still, I missed a few things. And Noel, to this day, I'd really like to know the truth behind your relationship with Howard Hughes. True story. And what really happened that night in William Holden's hotel room where you left your earrings. And exactly what is your relationship with Tom Selleck? Noel is really a very shy person. And she's a very kind person, and she's a very giving person. But you know, Noel has had tragedies in her life, like most of us. She's gone through innumerable marriages and unhappiness in that sense. But, you know, in 1959, you know, she lost a very good and very dear friend of hers. And his name was George Reeves. And like many of us, you know, she grieved. Shakespeare said it best when he said, "Let us sit upon the ground and share sad stories about the death of kings." Well, to Noel, George was king, and to many of us, George was king, and he is still king, and we still grieve for him. Noel went through a period where it was very difficult for her, and George remains with her to this day, and I think George is with us today. George remains in Noel's heart. He was a very kind and loving person. The thing about Noel, after having written her biography, was there was a couple other things I learned about her. One, her extensive entertainment background, the fact that she is shy, she is humble, she is assertive, she is confident in her abilities, she knows who she is, and she's one of the brightest people I have ever met. Now, as Lisa said, who does that describe? Describes Lois Lane. See, the thing is, Noel did not play a character, she simply played herself. And the person you saw on screen is exactly the same person that you saw off the screen. Noel Neill is Lois Lane. Thank you, Noel.
It's great to see everybody out here today, and great that the rain has gone away, at least temporarily. You know, the bad thing about being the last speaker is everybody has said most of what I was going to say, so I've checked off most of my notes, but a couple of things I do want to mention. Earlier I was out in the crowd moving some chairs, and this young man said, "Hey dude, I think you're here too early. The Lex Luthor look-alike contest not till Sunday." So I hope everybody will be here Sunday for the costume contest, because it's really a hoot for people who are in it, and also for the people who enjoy watching it.
I'll vote for you.
But today we're here for something a little more serious than the costume contest, and that is to reveal the new statue. We're here to honor Lois Lane, but in reality, Noel Neill, because she's the one that the statue is all about. And as somebody mentioned, Noel has had a vast career of almost 100 movies and was a pinup girl back when you didn't have to take all your clothes off to be in some of the magazines. She was also in movies such as Superman and Superman Returns. But it's a very steamy day. If you want to know all the things that Noel Neill has done, get on the internet, or better yet, go down to Chamber and buy Larry's book, and well, you see some wonderful pictures. But Noel Neill, as has been mentioned, has done so much for us, coming year after year to the Superman celebration and carrying our message every place else that she has gone. So we were very lucky to get her once, and even luckier to get her to come back many, many times. We, of course, gave her the key to the city and pronounced that she is the First Lady of Metropolis. But the statue will honor her forever. And if you want to be a part of this, as been mentioned before, buy a brick and your name will be there. We'll take up some blanks, we'll put in the new ones with the names on them, and you'll be right there with Noel Neill forever. The good thing about being the last speaker is that my real duty here is to introduce Noel Neill. And would you please come up and say a few words?
All right. Okay, nice. Bless your hearts, we're all coming. It's a thrill, really, to see you. Oh, so much. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I'm sorry I'm not in better condition. It's not old age, really. I just lost the cold and lost my hearing, and oh, darn, I'm sick. So just yell at me if you want to know something. Well, I made the rain stop, didn't I? No. You know, I must admit, I have not seen the stamp yet. Is it over there? I'm anxious to see it. Heard so much about it, and of course being so not far away, but out of sight, that I just haven't been up here, and I miss you all, and your country, your city, your show here. Oh, you're all so nice, so sweet to be here, and especially see the over there we have the statue, don't we? 9 feet tall. Well, whatever. I was over 9 feet tall, not even George, but that's showbiz. Oh, dear George, oh, I miss him so much. He was such a truly a wonderful person. There weren't too many people in showbiz that were good, that were nice to you, whatever. But George was, and we just love him and miss him. And I talk to Jack Larson all the time, and he's fine. And he said, "Oh, we miss George." And he said, "Yes, I know we miss George." But anyway, thank you all for coming here, and I hope that I can answer your questions. And just shout them, just poke me or something, I'll answer, because that's the left ear I can't hear at this moment. I noticed you have a chiropractic works up there. I was seriously thinking of, so you may find me there. But thank you again for coming, and I so love you all so much for this, and it means so much to me, because as Lois Lane, occasionally I get called, people just call me, "Oh, hi, Lois." I say, "Oh, hi there, how are you?" Well, I answer. And they say, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I say, no, that's all right. And but I just miss the show and everything so much, and so glad that you think to have us here every year. So thank you, and see you around. Okay.
Superman is going to help her to unveil the beautiful statue. What's everyone think? You think it's a beautiful statue? I think it's something we can all be very proud of. Thanks to all for coming.
My name is Lisa Gower, and we are extremely, extremely pleased to have Ilya Salkind here with us this Superman celebration. I've spoken with him on the phone, haven't actually laid eyes on him yet, but I understand that he is here. And so, without further ado, let's give him a big round of applause.
And at the beginning, I had the idea at the end of '73, and I said to my father, who was my partner, we had done two very successful films before that, which were The Three and the Four Musketeers with Raquel Welch and Faye Dunaway, and so we were like pretty hot, we could, really call studios or agents, and people would come to the phone. And I said, we were having dinner, and I just said, we should do something really different, and why don't we do Superman? And frankly, I still don't know where that came from. It just popped up.
We think it's an incredible idea.
Well, I had, although I was raised in France, but I had spent a year in New York when I was 7, and I had read the comic books, and it wasn't there, and somehow it's really interesting because I still, it just came out, and then he said he was very European and didn't know at all about comic books or cartoons and things like that, and he said, what's Superman? I said, well, Superman, a guy flies, and powerful, he can bend steel bars. The great thing is we can put tremendous stars in different parts, but we should have an unknown to play Superman. And this was really when that dinner. So we would have 3-4 stars around, and the idea was the unknown. So it was really there, and actually I almost succeeded in the first phase, because the film took 5 years. And we started with a different director, he's alive and in great shape, very nice man, Guy Hamilton, who did Goldfinger, very good director, and we started with him, and we tested Bruce Jenner, who was then the Catherine winner, and looked very good. And I said, okay, he's known, but he's not known like Robert Redford or Paul Newman, and it's still not that recognizable. But the name, it's a star. And we tested him. Actually, we were based in Rome at the beginning, and we tested him there, and he was very good. But he looked too young. He really looked 22, 20, 23, which he actually was. And he had a very young way of expressing, and so that was really the problem, because he was pretty good actually, and but we by then we already had a script by Mario Puzo, who had written The Godfather, and we had all agreed that he was around 30. Which is kind of the comic book age. However, the publicity was getting bigger and bigger, and then who's going to be Superman? Who's going to be Superman? And Warner's by then had not taken, because they had an option to take the distribution for US, and they were still not interested. We had Putzer, we had Guy Hamilton, we had, we added actually to Putzer, we added the Newmans, who had written Bonnie and Clyde, so really talented people. And they still weren't interested, and we still didn't have a Superman. And then every actor, I mean, I don't know how many people we saw. We saw people, the most bizarre, because by then DC, I mean, Warner's had said to DC, you know, let them get who they can get as long as he's a star, we don't care anymore. So we ended up seeing Neil Diamond. Don't ask me why, but well, the reason was his agent was a very nice man, and he said, no, please, you know, you have to come and see him, and that was with Dick Donner then already. And,
so let me get this straight. Superman could have been a musical?
It could have been a musical, and he could have looked like Neil Diamond. Could have been very interesting, you know. But and Diamond was very excited. He wanted to do it. That's the fun part, because the agent actually pushed me to see him to make him happy, because he was a big star, a singer. So we then saw some guys who were more, I would say, could have done it, like John Voight. Wow. Now, John Voight was not that big yet. That was after Midnight Cowboys, so he was just starting, but he hadn't had the Oscar for, I can't remember the film where he's in the chair. Coming Home. Coming Home, yeah. And we had a meeting with him, and very complicated guy, very nice, but really complicated. I mean, was becoming a really intellectual kind of Superman. You know, questions, why do I fly? Why do I land? You know, things like that. And so, you know, although he was really physically and all that, he was in great shape. He was 30. I mean, but we didn't go with him. And then there was another one who actually turned it down. It was another pretty big star who, Jimmy Cannon. That was after Godfather. So he also wasn't that famous yet. And okay, borderline, you know, very good actor. I mean, it would have been Neil Diamond or Dustin Hoffman. So he turned it down. And so then it was becoming absolutely terrifying, because all the big stars were or not interested at all, or turning it down. And I offered it to the biggest star then, which was Robert Redford. And, no, I know Robert Redford at 35, I mean, pretty fantastic, but I knew that it wasn't Superman. It still was Robert Redford, and he was very intelligent, because he wrote me a letter, a very nice letter, where he said, look, I'm sorry, but I think it's, you know, it's a very interesting idea and all that, but people are not going to believe that, you know, Robert Redford is flying around Metropolis. Right, and thank God he said that, because that was the last of the big stars that I tried. And there was one, by the way, who was trying desperately to get the part, And he was not yet that famous, but was going to become very famous, and that was Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. And I had seen Rocky in a private screening about 2 weeks before the release, and of course it was fantastic. But, hey, yo, Lois, what are we doing? You know. So,
I believe you have picked the correct business to be in.
he really was, you know, lobbying and calling, and he wanted to do the part, but it wouldn't work. I mean, it just couldn't work. I mean, you had to have the comic. And why don't we offer 3 parts, and he can pick one, to Paul Newman. And then Paul was around 50. I mean a little older than the age of the comic, but he looked terrific. And so I offered him Lex Luthor, Jor-El, and Superman. And he turned the 3 down. He did, and with an enormous salary, actually. We offered. So when that happened, I said to my father, look, we're not going to get the star for Superman. It's impossible because, or they're going to be too famous or not right. So let's go with semi-known, almost unknown, and then we saw a whole other bunch of guys. Again, I was getting a lot of screaming from Europe because I was in LA, desperately trying to find the actor. And this is in 2 stages because there was a whole period with Guy Hamilton and then a whole period with Richard Donner. And I then said, look, the only way is to get two major stars for Jor-El and for Lex Luthor. And they said, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, all the backers. And so that's when really we offered the part of Lex Luthor to Dustin Hoffman, who would have been very good.
Yeah.
I mean, could have been terrific. Wonderful actor. And it was almost happening, and I don't know, finally it didn't happen. So then, literally, Kryptonian sign came because an agent that was had been a very big agent in Hollywood and represented at one point everybody. I mean, the biggest stars, like Elizabeth Taylor and Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn, and I mean, enormous agent. Called me, and that was in 77, and early, and I by then I had a pretty big head myself, because on one side, you know, okay, I wasn't getting the guy, but the publicity was enormous everywhere. In Hollywood, it was just like crazy. So I had a secretary who said there's this guy on the phone, and I said, yeah, so what does he want? No, he wants to talk to you, it's very important. And it was a German guy, and he said, Ilya, I can get you Marlon Brando, I can get you Marlon Brando. I said, Kurt, you can't even get me tomato, lettuce, you can't get anybody today. Because I was in the Hollywood mean mode, you know, which sadly enough, one has to get out of it. But there's a moment you're in it, and it's not pleasant for the others. But the fact is, I said, come on, Kurt, you're gonna get me Marlon Brando. And this is after Marlon had The Godfather, Last Tango, and Apocalypse. The biggest star in the world. And 50. I can get you, Marlon, I can get you, Marlon. Come on, please, look, I'm busy here, I'm doing things. Please, you know, go take care of your gardens. So he calls again, it was an agent's push, and he called, 5 calls, and he says, all right, you can get him, but why can't you get him? I mean, he's the biggest star in the world. Oh, because I'm going out with his ex-girlfriend and friendly with him, and she can get him to read the script, but you have to make an offer now. I have to make an offer now. I can't make an offer now. I have to wake up my father, who was in Paris, and I was in Los Angeles. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. No. Marlon is a man who changes all the time. You have to make offer now. So I sound like Arnold here. This doesn't sound. No. This guy was German, not Austrian. German. Different accent. And he said, no, now. You have to do it now. Okay. So I called my father. I woke him up. 4 o'clock in the morning, what do you want? Already was not happy because I'd been there for 9 months, spending a fortune, and nothing was happening, and basically we were at the same time. I mean, the script was going ahead, the things, and Hamilton was still in the film at that point. And I said, look, this Kurt, you know, he says he can get Brando, and he wants an offer right now. And my father had a fantastic sense of the moment, you know, and somehow he got it, and he said, okay, make the offer. So what should I offer? He said, offer 2 minutes second for the part of Jor-El. I mean, obviously we had discussed that. It was that part. It was only 3 weeks of shooting. So I called back Kurt, the agent, and I said, okay, look, I just spoke with my father. You can offer 2.7 for the 3 weeks. And Kurt said, I don't know if that's an offer, but okay, I'll pay. Send me the script. I queried the script, and bellboy from the hotel runs. And he calls me the next morning. He says, he hasn't read the script yet, and 3.7 million and 11.75 of the gross. Now the gross, for people who don't know how that works in box office, is the money that comes to the theaters. The theaters keep half, and the rest goes to the distributor, like Warner's or Universal. So that means that money, those 11 points would have been deducted from what Warner's would get. I called my father again, and it was earlier this time, and I want 3.7 million and 11.75, and he said, do it.
This is Lily. And Lily, what superhero are you? You're a Supergirl. Is that your best pose? That looked like a good pose. Show it to me again. Show me your pose again. Lovely. Okay, give me all your super skills, or your special powers.
Flying and jumping over tall skyscrapers.
Are there a lot of skyscrapers in Paducah?
No.
Are there even more here in Metropolis?
No, they're in New York City.
Okay, well that'll be your next place to go. Okay, again, let me see your best super pose. And let's see, what are those for?
Deflecting bullets.
Deflecting bullets. Is there a lot of people that try and shoot bullets at you?
Not really.
Okay. Show me your best super pose. Where did you come from?
Paducah, Kentucky.
She's showing us her fluid pose. What special powers do you have?
Being cute and adorable, of course.
Well, speaking of cute and adorable, okay, how about this for cute and adorable? Are you this cute and adorable? I think she wins. What do you think? Okay, she wants to tell us how she broke her arm, probably using her super strength, but let's find out.
I fell off a skyscraper trying to get Superman's attention.
Very good. Well, did he ever notice you? Joshua, what superhero are you?
Superman!
Look at that. Do you have special powers?
Yes!
He can blow. Sweetie, what's your superhero costume?
Scapula.
Supergirl. Can you show me your best pose, Supergirl? Did you hear that? Joshua said this is Sarah, his sidekick. Supergirl, his sidekick. What superhero are you?
The Mighty Bee.
The Mighty Bee. Okay, what powers does the Mighty Bee have?
I'm an everyday superhero. I do stuff like recycle and other stuff, and soon when I get every badge, I'll be the Mighty Bee and I'll be able to fly, have super strength, and laser eyes.
Laser eyes? Is that to replace those glasses? So I take it you can't see right now?
No.
Okay. Well, that's great. Do you have, okay, you gave us your superpowers, and do you have any kind of pose? I guess your pose is more in recycling and doing all those badges. Hey, are you having fun here?
Fun, yeah.
Let's turn here. Let me see your best super pose. Can you show me your muscles? And Victoria Compton is all the way from, well, let you tell me.
Georgia.
And did you fly here?
No.
I bet with your superhero costume, you can run really fast.
Yes.
Can you show me your best super pose?
first guest, starting her acting career at the age of 13, this Toronto native made numerous appearances on Canadian television and appeared in her first feature film in 2006 with co-star Jeff Daniels. Most recently, you've seen her on the reimagined V-TV series, but we also know her as Kal-El's Kryptonian cousin Kara. Say that 3 times fast. Here she is, everybody, Laura Vandervoort. Okay, coming up next, our next guest, a Glenview, Illinois native who attended the prestigious Juilliard School of Drama before moving to LA to start his acting career. His genre resume is really pretty impressive, co-starring on Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek Enterprise, and Star Trek New Voyages. And he got to live out a fanboy dream by appearing in the Star Wars multimedia project, The Force Unleashed. Yep. Oh yeah, and be sure to ask him about the crash tones. Ladies and gentlemen, Doomsday comes to Metropolis. Here's Sam Witwer. Okay, so first question, guys. Is it hot enough for you? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes, no.
So, this is your first trip to Metropolis. I mean, Metropolis, Illinois, anyway. You've enjoyed it so far. You've got a chance to meet the fans, see the town a little bit. What do you think?
Cool. A lot of people here, huh? I mean, how many people are at this?
We get upwards of 30,000 when we have a good year, and I think this is a pretty good year. So, and I think they're all crammed in this tent right now, actually.
I appreciate you guys coming out. I know it's hot. Thank you very much, guys. That's awesome.
Hi, thanks for being here. You know, I think everyone's wondering, any chance that either or both of you might make it back for a guest appearance this year? It is possible.
They're conferring.
So what are we allowed to say?
They have to call the lawyer to see what they can and cannot talk about.
So maybe it'll be okay. Make sure you video this.
No comment.
Very nice. Okay, who's next? You know, actually, right next to you there, right in front of you, the gentleman with his hand up. There we go.
Yeah, this is for Sam. Can you please tell us anything about The Force Unleashed 2?
Yeah, I can. Actually, if you guys go to gametrailers.com or lucasarts.com, it's kind of all over the web. There's a new trailer we put out yesterday. But yeah, it's really cool. The story, the character is a little bit more ragged this time around. The combat's a little bit more over the top. The story is fantastic, and you learn a little bit more about Vader and all that cool stuff. I haven't consulted with LucasArts to know what I'm allowed to say or not, so I think I'll just kind of leave it at it's awesome. I'll leave it. It's awesome.
So is being part of that Star Wars experiences and everything you ever hoped it would be?
Big time. Yeah. In fact, the trailer we just put out. Because generally we would do a lot of video reference where they would just put a video camera on me and I would do some stuff, and that's how they would figure out how the character moves. For the facial stuff, we do motion capture, but for the recent trailer we put out, I'm motion capturing the entire thing. I got to do lightsaber stuff, and it was awesome. It was really fun.
Did you get to keep your lightsaber?
They gave me a bunch of cool Star Wars stuff, including lightsabers. I mean, it's the coolest thing is you're working at Lucasfilm, right? So we're shooting this, and I was waving a microphone around to be my lightsaber because they're going to put it all in later, right? So I'm waving this microphone around, and at one point the director goes, go downstairs and get a lightsaber. I'm like, what? And they come back with a lightsaber, and I'm like, okay, sure. It's Lucasfilm. I guess they have these around. It's very strange.
I think it's part of the employee package. When you sign up, you actually get one. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
My question is, how did you both prepare for your roles? And mostly, I mean, because I know you both had to play kind of 2 different roles. You had to play Kara, and then you had to play the Kryptonian, and then, of course, I mean, you had to play David, and also play the good side David, good side bad David, and also Doomsday. So, how'd you guys pull it off?
Well, I just did some harness training at the very beginning of the show. I couldn't really prepare to be Supergirl. I read the comic books. When I first got the role, they had me doing green screen and just learning how to be in a harness and fly. I did pretty much most of my own flying in the show because I love doing it. My stunt girl hated me for it, but you know, not much to prepare. Just was kind of thrown into it actually when I was cast. I think it was like a week turnaround, and I was on camera with Tom, googly-eyed. You know, so I just learned as I went, and also Kara slowly became my own. Originally, the producers had a very specific feel for Kara. The short shorts, you know, a very specific look. And then eventually she developed into more of who I think I was, with a mixture of Supergirl. She was strong, independent. She started wearing more clothes. I really enjoyed playing her, so I appreciate you guys watching, I really do. But really with the training, it was just the physical training, and the acting just kind of came with the show as we went along.
For me, I read the comic books, and then as soon as the script started coming out, realized that there's not much use there because we were doing something totally different, which was scary because it's like, what if you guys don't like it? You know, in fact, the reaction to they're doing this human side of Doomsday was very negative until we started airing. When they started airing and people saw what we were doing, they liked it right away. But before that, we were getting some pretty nasty messages. And so, you know, as an actor, they pitched Davis to me as a good guy who is in a terrible situation, so I just tried to play him as nice a person as I could under those awful circumstances. So that was my plan.
Now, Laura, had you done effects work and anything before?
Oh boy, no, green screen was brand new to me, and since Smallville and now on V, it's all I know. All of my mothership on V, everything we do is green screen, and then the harnessing work was obviously brand new. It's all new to me, the sci-fi world for Smallville, but since then I think I've become a pro at it.
Excellent. And you do a great job at it, by the way. Next question.
I wanted to know what it was like playing Tom Willen's cousin and just being able to see him every day.
I didn't mind going into work. You know, I've told this story before, I think, but when I first met Tom, we had a scene together in the kitchen that we had to do. And he just meets me for the first time, and I think it was a line where he says, "Oh, that makes you my cousin." And in rehearsal, he was joking around, because we were standing very close, and then when he said, "You're my cousin," he took a step backwards, like, you know, "Oh, I can't be this close to you." We were just having fun with the fact that, you know, it was a little awkward. It's too bad he's my cousin.
And Sam, I want to know what was it like having to play his enemy, playing Doomsday?
Well, Tom's about 7'2". I'm used to going on sets and being one of the taller guys. I'm 6'1", so I'm not giant, but I'm pretty tall, I guess, 6'1". And you arrive on Smallville, and have you noticed everyone is just a giant on that set? Like Justin Hartley's like 6'3", Tom Welling's like 6'5", the girls are tall.
The heels.
Yeah.
Tom wears heels, that's what I'm saying. I'm kidding.
In fact, when I met him, I walked on the set, and I don't know if he knew who I was, and I was like, "Hey, you're the super guy? Yeah? Yeah, I kill you." And he goes, "Oh, someone has to." So that was my intro to Tom.
So do they have a sign outside on the soundstage? You must be at least this tall to be on Smallville. Is that right?
Honestly, I was the short guy on Smallville at 6'1".
Yeah, welcome to my world. Okay, let's get another question.
Were you in the Doomsday suit?
It's always the kids, isn't it?
No, dude, I wasn't. The cool thing about the Doomsday suit is I could be sitting around playing video games, and yet my presence is still felt on the set. I showed up for once. I think there was an episode, it might have even been, it was a big Doomsday episode. It was huge. I showed up for all of 4 hours of that episode in terms of work. So I showed up and played a scene for the first time that we see the creature, like I transform.
Right.
And I play the, oh God, I'm turning, oh no. And then that's it for me. And the rest of the episode, he's in it And so I have all these people coming up, they're like, that was so great, man, that's such a great episode, oh my God, you were awesome in that. And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. The answer to that is Doomsday in the comic book is like 8 foot wide and 10 feet tall, and I'm only 6'1", short. So.
Question, do you guys think that Clark's finally gonna fly in season 10?
If I have anything to do with it, he will.
Kara, just take him up and drop him.
I tried to do that at season 7. There was a scene where we're in the loft. I'm sure I don't know if you guys remember it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm teaching him to fly, and when we were rehearsing it, it was just basically a scene where I'm standing behind him telling him how to do it. And during the rehearsal, Tom and I were joking, and I kind of pushed him. And the director loved that, so they had that, I think they might have taken it out, but there's a shot of me pushing his elbows, and it's always fun because we get to add our own little humor to it, but I know how much everybody wants him to fly. I'm telling you, I'm trying. If I'm ever back on the show, I will try, so.
Now, with shooting television, now granted, it's a pretty expensive show. It's not like a sitcom where they bang it out real quick and everything. But you still, production schedule, you guys got to get in and get out and move on to the next shot. But how much input did you guys have when you were on the set to be able to kind of tweak things and make it your own?
Quite a bit, actually. How did that work? Basically, they kind of came to me for the Doomsday role, which that was a big deal for me because I knew that I could get away with being a jerk. Okay? No, the minute I could change things here and there. I mean, I would sometimes write to them and say, well, shouldn't we do this instead? I think at one point they had my character, after he started having powers and stuff, they had him chloroformed, and I'm like, no, can't he just like hit him over the head with a pipe or something? And they're like, oh, that's great, boom, you know? And yeah, so, and I would change things here and there on the set, and they would tolerate it. It's funny because the producers, you know, one would come up to me and say, hey, you're doing a great job, just keep doing what you're doing, we're really happy with it. And then the other producer would come in and say, hey, you're doing a great job, could you stick to the script a little bit? Thanks. So I took some liberties, and they seemed okay with it.
Yeah, and for myself, with you know, I really didn't have a lot of say for the beginning of the series because they were very specific about Supergirl and how she came across. I remember my first day in the trailer in the full uniform, like our lovely lady here is wearing, and 5 producers came in, stood around me, circled me, and looked me up and down to make sure that I was what they wanted people to see as Supergirl. So that was intimidating, but eventually I got more say and put a bit of my own personality into her. But with dialogue and things like that, they really don't allow you to stray too much because it is very specific for the fans.
Either of you interested in getting in behind the scenes on doing stuff? Doing any writing, directing, anything like that?
Eventually, yeah. I need a bit more experienced tailing directors, but yeah.
It's kind of like getting paid to go to school, though, right? To be on the set and watch what happens. I mean, it worked out okay for Tom, right? So
yeah.
Tom's a great director.
How about you?
I would love to be a writer.
Yeah.
Or producer. I love being behind the camera, almost more than in front sometimes. It's a little easier, but I've always enjoyed writing. So I'd love to actually have a few films that I'd like to write. One that I've written that people are looking at. So fingers crossed for that.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, back up.
So this is for Sam. I was wondering, since you weren't, obviously you weren't the guy in the suit. How does it feel about the big fight at the end of season 8? Did you feel like that was satisfying for your character, considering you didn't really get to do much with that?
Well, I mean, satisfying because I was collecting a full paycheck no matter what I did. So, are you asking like, what did I think of it? I mean, what do you? Oh, yeah, I don't mind not doing anything. I really don't. I'm okay with that. So, the thing, the guy Dario who was in the suit, he's a great guy. He was really cool, and because that's the thing. Okay, stunts on any kind of set. If you do a move or something like that, you do a fall. Let's say even in the mist, something as simple as like Bill Sadler hits me in the back of the head and I hit the ground. you do that 5 times, you're like, yeah, it's cool. And you're trying to hit the ground hard because you're trying to make it look good. Then you do it 5 more times, you're like, cool. You do it 5 more times, fine. But then around the 16th time, it really starts to hurt. I mean, really, you know, they're like, are you sure you don't want pads? No, I'm fine. 16 takes later, you're like, oh. And even the simplest, you know, it's like it's getting hit in the same spot over and over again. After a while, there's a threshold and everything starts to hurt in that area. So I love doing stunts. I love doing all that stuff. But you know, if someone wants to get in a big hot suit, sweat, and have contacts and do it for me, sure. Yeah.
What do you think about the fighting and stuff, though? You know, the real muy macho getting in there and slugfest and all that sort of stuff. You enjoy that type of stuff, or?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, if it was more of a slugfest, I'd say I'd be like jealous. But it was more like people on wires getting thrown and stuff, which is fun. I mean, that's I've done a little bit of that. But you know, between that and being Indiana Jones, I'll take Indiana Jones.
Now, stunt work, you had said that, you know, the wires and all that, you got pretty good at that, but how about some of the fighting and things like that? I mean, you did a little damage, right?
I did a movie called Damage with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You sure did.
Yeah, I just plugged that. I had fighting. I didn't do it, but it was in there. But with the harnessing work on Smallville, because of the form my outfit was in, it was very small. They had to create a brand new harness that had never been used before for stunts anywhere. So instead of one solid harness, I had a bottom harness and a top harness, which would pull on different sections of my body and was a little painful. But I loved it.
Bikini harness?
It was a bikini harness, let's be honest. It really was. I had several months where I had black and blue hip bones. Pretty bad, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, I love doing stunts, and I have my 2nd degree black belt, so I love to do martial arts and fight scenes if I can.
That's the thing. If you have the chance to do stunts or not do stunts, it's always more fun to do it, and it sells it more for the audience if they see you actually do it.
And let's face it, we all want to be superheroes. We all want to do our own fight scenes. So.
Yep.
How about the little guy in the Spider-Man shirt right in front of you? He's from the enemy camp, but that's okay.
Sam.
What's up?
Is Force Unleashed on the Wii?
Yes, it comes out on the Wii and Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and I think a bunch of others as well. So, yes, sir.
PlayStation 3, I'm glad.
You have what? What's that?
PlayStation 3.
You have PlayStation 3?
Yes.
You're set, dude.
Xbox 360, PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 2.
My friend, you need nothing else in life. Why are you here?
I know you're doing a new movie, The Return of Joe Rich, and I was just wanting to know if you could give us a little bit more information about that, or release date, maybe?
The Return of Joe Rich is about a Star Wars, Star Trek fan type guy, you know, Superman fan. He's a fan of all pop culture. He's a total, like, nerd guy who loses everything in the brutal economic times that we're all living in and decides his best choice is to join the mafia. So it's like, we shot it like Godfather. It looks very much like that. We actually have Talia Shire playing my mom, so we have that kind of Godfather, you know, tie-in. And she's brilliant, by the way. She's hilarious. In fact, Talia, when she arrived on the set, because this is a Coppola we're talking about. We're making a mafia movie and a Coppola arrives on the set, and she messed with me, dude. She'd just be like, she'd say something like, oh yeah, well it's kind of like that moment in Godfather 2 when that happens. And I'm like, yeah, totally. It was Godfather 3, you don't get it. But after we started working together, she was totally awesome. And Armando Sante plays my uncle, the mafia guy. And so basically picture The Godfather, but the wrong guy is in the lead. In the Marco Corleone role, instead of having Michael Corleone, they have like a Kevin Smith character, you know? So, and well, it's like when William Shatner attacked the Gorn, right? You know, he's in the middle of a big mafia scene, so it's gonna be a wild movie. It's gonna be a very strange movie.
So is that currently in production?
Yeah, they're cutting it right now.
So their release date for that yet? Or?
I don't know when that is. They're basically just putting it together. I think we're going to go back and shoot a little bit more on it, and who knows?
What's the name of it again?
The Return of Joe Rich.
Okay, so remember that. We want to make sure to check that out when it comes out.
It was fun. By the way, another little side note about Armando Sante. that guy is the coolest, most intimidating guy in the world, right? I actually chipped his tooth during a take. There's a moment where we're having some conflict and I do this physical action, and after the take, I just see him walking around, he's like, oh yeah, chipped the tooth. I'm like, whoa. I'm so sorry, Armand, I'm so sorry. No, that was good, that was the take, man. Yeah, no, do it harder next time. It was my fault because I had my jaw here and I shouldn't have had it there. And you, do it again, that was great. That's a tough guy right there.
This is for both of you. How do you feel you, as your characters, contribute to the Smallville series? How do you contribute?
Have I helped? I mean, they definitely wanted to have Supergirl on the show, and I really think that she brought out a bit of a sense of humor in Tom and Superman. You know, she was his quirky little cousin who, you know, he had to run around. You know, she was causing trouble, and he really had to take care of her. I don't know how I contributed. I know the fans really enjoyed Kara, and I really enjoyed her. So.
That's contribution.
I don't know. I just hope that you guys were happy with what I did. I can't really say how I
She showed up, she was charming, you know, the things she can't say.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all those things.
That's right.
I'm kidding.
Okay, see, I see what you're saying. So I'm like, okay, if I contributed, I was on the show, I guess. Michael Rosenbaum wasn't there. They needed someone to provide a threat, and hopefully it was interesting. I mean, my whole take on the character was this was a really good guy. He was a very good person who was in a really, really bad situation and therefore was threatening to Superboy. So.
And with Kara, they just needed someone from his family, someone from his home planet to kind of teach him about his past and about his family. No one had done that yet. And it also allowed Helen Slater to come on the ship as his mother. Kind of opened up another door. I think both of our characters allowed for a lot more doors to be opened in storylines.
Keep it going.
I know you get involved, I guess, in a project like Smallville, and you get behind the scenes, and you see how, the magic is revealed, so to speak. Was there ever a scene that you performed that, inspired you, or, you realized at the moment that, like, yes, this is, Supergirl, this is my character, were you just, like, really in the moment, or later when you saw yourself in an episode where it was like, yeah, I can kind of see, like, why so many people like this show, and it's that was a magical, inspiring moment.
I have these moments where I watch myself and I go, why do they hire this guy? I don't really enjoy watching myself that much. You have to because it's part of your job, but I don't really like it. I don't really buy into that guy. I wouldn't get his autograph. Anyway. No, but you learn a lot by watching it. To be fair, yeah, I think I know why people liked Davis, and it was that struggle that he was trying to do the right thing. I think that was it, maybe.
In terms of Supergirl, that's an iconic character, and when I got the role, I knew there was a lot of weight going to be on my shoulders, and they expressed that. I had a few meetings with them about how she was supposed to speak, walk, everything. They were very specific, and I knew I had big shoes to fill, or a big cape to fill, or a big whatever skirt to fill.
Very small.
A short skirt. You know what, I think the scene that really brought it around for me was the scene I did with Tom in the bar. It's a scene when I don't know what episode it was. I was telling him how my family was gone, I'm completely alone. It was a very nice, warm scene with Tom. And I call him Kal-El. And he finally says, Clark. And then I say, Clark. He says, he'll be my family. That was such a touching scene for me, and I felt like I was really a part of the show at that point. Because before she was very flighty, and this really brought her down to earth. She was part of the family. And then obviously, you know, doing the photo shoots for Supergirl and the Supergirl stances and seeing the dolls and all of that really made me feel great about being a part of this iconic character.
Okay, I have a question for both of you. It's kind of veering away from Smallville. I'm just curious what you guys thought about your roles in, well, for Laura, for V, and what your general feelings are towards it. And for Sam, what you thought of your time on Battlestar Galactica, and anything you might have to say about that.
Battlestar was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. What can I say about it? I learned some really bad habits on Battlestar because there's a lot of ad-libbing on that show. In fact, the executive producer said to me, okay, here's the rule. Get one as written and then say whatever you want. So just about any time you see Crashdown, he's saying whatever he wants. But it was really great. Those actors are incredible, and I keep up with them. I just saw Eddie a few months ago and had a chance to get dinner with him a few times. Really great people, really fun people, and the work was just outstanding. And because we had such creative control of our characters given to us, I always try to bring a little bit of that to each role that I do, to the dismay of the producers or the director, because, you know, like even on Smallville, you know, they had to get used to the idea that I was going to change things every now and then, but I just can't help it. Battlestar kind of taught me to really take responsibility for those things, and until such time as someone fires me for that, I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, it doesn't, you know, you can't do it as much as, say, Battlestar, where you're kind of going off and doing your thing, but it is fun to feel like, no, this is my role, and I know, I think I have something to contribute here, and so I'm going to give it a shot. And provided they don't tell me to completely not do it, I'm going to do it. So that was, I have Battlestar to thank for that. And I just saw Ron Moore at Skywalker Ranch. Read into that whatever you will concerning Ron Moore. Ron Moore is the showrunner of Battlestar Galactica and the lead writer.
And you asked about V. I mean, I love being on the show. We just finished our first season. It's completely aired. I play Lisa, who's the daughter of the Queen V, Anna. It's based on the 1983 or 1984 miniseries. I don't know quite which year. I'm sure you guys might know, but
Mark Singer.
Mark Singer. And you know, it's such a great miniseries that they knew they wanted to bring it back. But it's a reincarnation, a reimagining of the show. Completely different characters, but very similar to the originals at the same time. My character, Lisa, was actually similar to Smallville. I don't know if you guys know, I was just a guest star. I was only supposed to do 3 episodes. And it turned into the season, and the same thing happened with V. And Lisa ended up being a really great character towards the end of the season. You discover she's the Queen's mom, that she might rebel against her own people. I really enjoyed playing it, and to be on ABC is great. But, you know, Smallville was a great learning pad for me. And hopefully I'll get to return. But V is great too, so we're starting a 2nd season in August, so be sure to check that out, because I think Lisa's going to be in that a lot more.
Excellent. You live in LA and you've got a band, right? You guys play out in LA, do you?
Not for a while. Work has been too busy to really play out a lot.
Yeah. So much.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. My band is a bunch of people who all have industry jobs as well. For example, one of the guys in it is a guy named Brian Taylor, who wrote and directed Crank. Another guy is a guy named Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Oh yeah. And so when we have time, we play. And it's my stuff. I wrote all the stuff. But the thing is we haven't had time. We really haven't had time. I've been trying to finish a 2nd album, but I've been in and out of town and just shooting kind of constantly for the past 2 years, so I haven't been able to get it finished.
What kind of music is it?
Thanks. What, did someone say awesome? It's awesome? I play awesome music. What?
I like awesome music.
Whatever. No, It's all over the place. There's some heavy stuff, there's some light stuff, there's some Peter Gabriel stuff, there's some System of a Down sounding stuff. So it's really all over the place, and it's not exactly for everyone. Don't let your kids read the lyrics, and that's that. You can go to cdbaby.com, and that's where they sell it. www.cdbaby.com/crashtones. And that's it.
Well, I mean, you like your personal website for stuff coming up and appearances and all that.
Yeah, I'm working on a new website right now because I've kind of let it alone for a while.
So, how about you? You got a web presence?
I might be the only person in the world, but I don't have Facebook or MySpace or Twitter.
Yeah, me either.
One person! I don't have any, but there are impersonators. So if I've been talking to you and I've been rude, I'm sorry.
Whoa, that wasn't you?
Actually, what's scary? A friend of mine texted me and said, I heard you don't have Facebook. I've been talking to you for a year. My friends. They obviously don't know me well. Or you just gotta be careful. But I do have a website, lauravandervoort.org. Not very hard to remember. But other than that, just be careful because there are a lot of impersonators. Great fan spaces, but
So we have not been dating for a year.
actually, this is the moment I was going to break up with you.
Oh.
And you were there, everybody.
It's all right. It's okay. I mean, if you got to get broken up with someone, Supergirl ain't a bad pick, right?
What was that movie? My Super Ex-Girlfriend?
That's the one.
Better to have loved and lost Supergirl than never to have loved at all.
What scene for both of you do you think
go
has
ahead.
made you grow the most as an actor? And 2, Sam, you look hot. You should probably take off your shirt.
We're waiting.
We can start with the
We broke up. You can't ask me that. We're done. Eddie. There was one scene that we did. In fact, it was supposed to be like 3 scenes, and we shot it as one, and then they cut it kind of together as one, where I have Justin Hartley and Aaron Ashmore, Jimmy Olsen, and the Green Arrow. Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil that for you guys. And I have them captive, and basically, I know that if Chloe doesn't get to me soon, I'm gonna have to kill one of them, or I'm gonna destroy a city block. The choice is kill one of these guys, or I'm gonna, wolf out or whatever, turn into Doomsday and destroy 5 city blocks, and hundreds of people are gonna die. So I don't want to hurt these guys, but I've got them captive, and if she doesn't get to me soon, I'm gonna have to do something. And that was a cool group of scenes, or scene, or whatever you want to call it. I thought that was tough, because you're like, wow, he's doing all this stuff, and he punches Jimmy, and he says all these awful things, but how do you play it to where you feel bad for the guy who's about to do awful things? So that was the trick.
You were great in that scene.
Oh, thank you.
My very first scene on Smallville was, I think, like 7 pages with Tom, which was already nerve-wracking enough.
That was your first scene?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was in the Clark kitchen, the Kent kitchen. Clark kitchen. I just think Clark all the time. And I was so nervous because there was so much dialogue. It was expositional. It was me talking about how I'd been in suspended animation. It went on and on and on. And this is my first day. I want to do a good job, and I didn't know if I could handle it. And you have marks when you're doing scenes. You go from this mark to this mark, and they put tape on the floor to tell you which mark is next. The floor was covered in marks. I walked around this whole room talking to, the ceiling, to the door, and he's behind me listening. That was a scene that really challenged me, and I got through it. I felt fairly good about it. Never completely satisfied, but it made me realize that I can handle things that I didn't think I could. That was the scene.
How about a hand for